Thank you for being a champion within Stepwise Lego Academy to raise awareness and also bring us all together to continue living to the promise of making an impact. That's what we do as an organization. That is what I personally also endeavor. That's my personal ethos as Sarah. And I am also very grateful for introducing us to Grace. So, Eunice, the floor is yours. Why are we here?
My journey with autoimmune began way back in 1988 when I started having joint pains, high fevers, loss of weight, loss of appetite, and we started moving from hospital to hospital. When we came across a neighbor who was coming from taking his son to hospital, he told us of a doctor, a pediatrician. We visited him. He diagnosed me with juvenile idiopathic arthritis. It's a type of arthritis that attacks children.
I'm Grace. I was diagnosed with scleroderma last year, July. It causes tightening of the skin and the connective tissues. At times, it's painful. It's not really painful, but itchy.
So I was put on steroids. Steroids are one of the medication that deals with inflammation. And I recovered very well and very fast. I was able to go back to school until months later when now the drugs could not work anymore. The doctors could not tell what it was, so he referred me to Kenyatta, where I was on medication until a doctor came and diagnosed me with lupus.
I had started getting sick way earlier in high school because my hands used to get really cold, and then they turn color. Okay. So they become bluish. So when I got to campus, I was getting weaker.
But it's like whenever I would go back to school, I think because of the walking and the hassles in schooling, I'd get back sick again. 1991, I traveled to the UK. They diagnosed me with another condition called rheumatoid arthritis. The doctors in the UK told me it's like lupus has sort of gone down and then now rheumatoid arthritis has come up, which has caused the deformity in my fingers, has resulted in me having a hip replacement on my left hip.
So after a while, I developed a kind of like a scar on my hand. I didn't really know what was the problem, so I went to a doctor and they told me it was a fungal infection. For the fungal infection, he gave me some drugs and some drugs to apply, but they were burning my skin, so I stopped. I went to another doctor who told me that it is vitiligo. But then in my mind, I was like, no, this is not vitiligo. So I went to Google, searched about like putting the symptoms and all that. Then I came across scleroderma. That's how I knew. Okay, in my mind, yeah, I kind of just knew it was scleroderma. So I remember I just took that photo and showed my dad. And I was like, hey dad, I think this is what I'm going through. But my dad couldn't accept.
I worked for about 6 years. Then my hip got very damaged. I could not walk. I was told I need a replacement. I started asking doctors what a hip replacement was all about, and the answers I got were not satisfying. A doctor would tell me, once we do the replacement, because they cut off the whole joint, they replace with an implant, a prosthesis. You'll not be able to bend your leg. And I was like, I'm still walking, so let me continue. But I didn't know by continuing to use the hip, I was making it worse. I had to travel to India. When I traveled to India, at that time, I already had an infection, mostly autoimmune, especially lupus. It can attack any organ. So my lung got damaged. I was told you have to delay the surgery, you have to treat the infection, and if need be, we might need to remove the lung. But they were able to treat the infection and have the surgery done, which was successful. And when I was just ready to go back to working, because I love being independent, then COVID came. And then when I have an infection, fluid fills up in my lungs. Then COVID is the same thing. So I knew if I happen to get COVID, that's it, I'm done.
But thank God.
But thank God.
Yes.
Symptoms were a bit worse because in the morning I would wake up, my face is swollen, my hands and feet are swollen, and they're in so much pain. And walking from my home, from my house to the workplace was such a hassle.
Last year, I saw an advertisement with Stepwise for telemarketing
Yeah.
and NCPWD. I applied and waited. I didn't want to put my hopes high. And one Monday, I'm just lying thinking about my life, and I get a call from Stepwise. I think it was from Victoria. She told me there's an opening for telemarketing. Can you be available for the interview? I said yes. So I prepared myself, did the interview. By the grace of God, I passed. And I enjoyed the training. I enjoyed working. Personally, I love dealing with people. You know, some employers may not understand because, you know, you're always home, you're getting paid, but then you're not being productive. And since I joined Zalego Academy, I felt Zalego Academy, you're about making an impact. I felt I've been able to make an impact in people's lives. As a humble request, sponsors who can come in, maybe help, but if corporate companies can come in, it will go a long way.